pretty excited with the guest that we have today.
I am too. Let's go ahead and bring him up here, guys. The next guest, the guest that's coming up. He's the host, he is the host of the Billy Goat Tells X Spaces. They have a YouTube show, and he's also the author of this beautiful book right here, just in time for Christmas, Billy Goat Tells. It is A Bridge to Bitcoin. It's a wonderful children's story, so we'll make sure that he talks about that today too. Guys, let's go ahead and bring him up without any further ado. CryptoBilly in the house. Let's go.
Good morning. Good morning.
How you doing, Billy? Welcome to the Piper Academy. Glad to have you here on the professor stage today. Dude, what do you think of the crash of 2024? Did you survive it? Are you okay?
Yeah, man, I survived it just fine. I love that chart, love that weekly, because it really shows it's nothing. It's just part of it, right? So yeah,
it is.
I made it through.
Yeah, we're actually getting a really good rebound. I'm going to go jump into some economic data that actually helped us out, break in some news and give that to people, give everyone that alpha. And then me, you, and OC, we're going to come back, show some charts, talk about this. And we're also going to talk about a very special project that Billy Goat Tells is doing right now that I have donated to in my minting process. But yeah, we're going to break that down and talk about that. And then also tell our viewers how they can get the entire set of 1 through 10. And after you tell them why they need it in their life. So let's go jump over to the news and let's break all of that down, get into why we got a little bit of pump action going on today, besides just, degens buying up the selling pressure, but we got some other reasons. Let's go jump in and let's talk about all of that, guys. News, let's go. Let's get there. All right, guys, taking a look at the news today. We are currently, let's give this, I think this is going to actually come up 3.72. Yeah. $3.72 trillion market cap right now on crypto. Volume in the last 24 hours, getting the upside increase about 21.3 after that sell-off. Let's go jump in and take a look at the fear and greed, guys. CMC, fear and greed index right now, down to 69. We're in greed. We're in slight greed. We're out of extreme greed. Yesterday was 80. Last week was 80. Last month, 83. Guys, 69. Settling the F down. That's what it's doing. Bitcoin dominance right now, setting at 57.1%. We'll take a look and see what that is on TradingView. And then altcoin season sliding further away. Guys, we're moving back into Bitcoin season because yesterday's sell-off really impacted some of the altcoins. So yesterday, this was, I believe, around 63. We were at 67 on the altcoin season index, and now we're sliding away from that back towards Bitcoin season, and that's okay. Let the cycle do what the cycle does. Let's take a look at the crypto bubbles here. Give it a refresh. On the daily, we are seeing quite a bit of red here, but if we move over here, oh, wow, we got Christmas gifts and tree and hats and all kinds of stuff on here today. Jump over to the hourly, though. I don't like that red on the green, man. We got to talk to Crypto Bubbles. We appreciate your festivities. You are messing up my metrics here. I can't even visualize this right. Fart coin, guys, 6.2% up in the past hour. This is where we are in crypto. You got to love it. Bitcoin currently sitting at 102,523 after dropping down to about 98,700 yesterday. I'll tell you my story about my long trade that I had down there in a little while. It's sad. It's a sad story. You guys can all feel sorry. Bitcoin, though, sitting at 102.5K right now, down 1.4% on the daily. Massive crash, rebounding all the way back up there in the past hour, 0.7%. Ethereum losing that $4,000 range actually happened before we even started all of this. It got rejected at 4K. It's down to 36.84, down 4.1%. You guys can see, this is why I keep saying the longer I'm in crypto, the more I keep becoming a, yes, Ahsoka. Fart coin, really, it's a thing. I keep saying I'll become more and more of a Bitcoin maxi. Look, Bitcoin down 1.5%, Ethereum down 4.1%, XRP down 4.4%, BNB held well, 1.6%, Solana down 3%, Dogecoin down 5%, Cardano down 5.8%. Sitting just below $1.97, we'll call it. We'll round it up. We'll give it a alley-oop, a little alibi there. Avalanche down 6.9, Chainlink's down 8.1. So yes, massive sell-off on Chainlink there, just under $25 at $24.95. And then Hyperliquid moving up 3 positions to number 21, trying to make it into the top 20 there. It's actually up 3.5% for the daily, 41% for the weekly. So interesting on that token there. Is there a ticker for that? What is that ticker? What is that ticker, sir? I don't know. Find out the ticker on this for me, OC. It's hyper liquid. We'll have to take a look at that chart. Let's go jump into the stocks, guys. Right now, on here on Dow Jones, this is all the market open. Dow Jones, S&P, NASDAQ, all opening to the upside. Russell 2K, guys, small caps selling back off again. People, I think yesterday's sell-off hurt a lot of people, and now they're selling the bottom. That's what I think is going to be happening here. Russell 2K, small caps. High risk, high reward. I think people are selling off the bottom. They think more is coming. We'll have to see how that plays out for them. But guys, look at the VIX. I told you, when the VIX is green, that is where we should be worried, right? When that thing is pumping off. It's down 25% today, giving a strong indication that the market play is done. But there are some articles in here on CNBC that I was looking at this morning, how the market pullback could get worse in January. We've talked about quarter one fears, but I do think that we are going to rally into Christmas still, even though some people thinking not the case. We'll keep a look on that. Looking here at the economic data that came out this morning, guys. We got GDP data this morning, initial jobless claims, and the Philadelphia Fed Manufacturing Index all coming in this morning, bright and early at 8:30 a.m. on the East Coast, 6:30 my time. Let's take a look at the GDP growth rate quarter over quarter first for quarter three. Guys, it was at 3. They expected it would be down 0.2% to 2.8. Came in above at 3.1, which gave a nice boost to all of the markets this morning after yesterday's waffling of Jerome Powell's speech. Yeah, we're going to cut rates, but we may not do all of that in next year in 2025. And yeah, the inflation's under control and it's looking good, but it could get worse and it might be bad, and job numbers, like it was so bad. Horrible speech, which I told you, a lot of the numbers that they were putting out were not right. I'm finding data in the thread all the time that's saying, look, they put out this number, but this is a little piece in there that's hidden in that box there. It's like getting that perfect gift, and then you find out, oh, this thing expired a year ago, and I can't even enjoy it. So, GDP price index quarter over quarter, guys, this came in as expected, on 1.9%, as projected on consensus on forecast was previously at 2.5, but the quarter over quarter growth rate, that's what's important, and it was much better. The initial jobless claims, again, 242,000 jobs last week. People filed for unemployment. The consensus and everything was that it would be down 230 to 235K, dropped by 22,000 jobs in a week. So initial jobless claims coming in much better than what was expected and better than what it was. We did get this one, which is a little worrisome for me. We talked about manufacturing, construction, retail, 3 pillars of the economy. One of them, all of them looking decently weak right now. But Philadelphia Fed Manufacturing Index, guys, was down 5.5 points last month. So 3% and 3%, 3 points and 3 points, I mean, to the upside was what they were consensing and forecasting. Guys, it was down 16.4, and this indicates weakening of the manufacturing industry. The Philadelphia Fed Manufacturing Index plunged to 16.4 in December, its lowest level since April 2023, from the negative 5.5 in November, and way below the expectation of 3. Signaling a further weakening in regional manufacturing activity. This is a weakening of one of the pillars of the markets, guys, in the economy. So, but all that stuff yesterday with Jerome Powell, guys, how is that playing out now for 2025? Looking at January here, 29 January 2025 is the next FOMC meeting for rate decision. Right now, we're looking at a 91.4% chance of a freeze, a pause, no rate hike, no rate cuts in January. Right now, let's go jump over to March, see how that looks. Right now, 53% chance of no change in March. Also, that would be the first time that we get close to having a possibility of a rate cut again, and that's a 47% chance of easing in March. But January right now, now it's 91.4. It's gone. I think it changed a little bit. Maybe. I don't know. Let's go jump in and talk about interest rate cuts and impact on Bitcoin, its price reaction unraveling with future projections here yesterday, guys. The Bitcoin price experienced a significant downturn. Look, guys, even the media, significant downturn. We're going to talk about this. I hate this wording. I hate that a small pullback, a red candle causes so much reaction in the markets on one day. If you have a series of it and you have a change of trend, I could see that, guys. It was one candle, and even mainstream media. This is who is this? In News BTC, right? And they're talking about a significant downturn on Wednesday, briefly falling below the $100,000 milestone as the U.S. Fed Reserve cautious outlook on interest rate cuts dampened crypto investments. At one point on Wednesday's trading session, the market's leading crypto dropped to 98,760 before recovering to a six-figure mark. Other cryptocurrencies, including ETH and Doge, also faced substantial retracements. Fed cautious rate cut sparks uncertainty in the markets. That's what happened. It was that conversation that he had. Tony Sycamore, a market analyst at IG Australian, noted that the Fed's decision was largely anticipated. We figured this was what it was going to be, given the recent trend in U.S. inflation. They said 25 basis point cut. We got a 25 basis point cut. So why the reaction? All the speech. That's all of it. However, it acted as a catalyst for shedding some of the speculative excess that had entered risk assets, including stocks and Bitcoin, especially following the recent U.S. elections, which pumped the markets like crazy. Let's go ahead and jump back over here to the panel, and let's bring these guys up, and let's talk about this. We knew... is that Jerome Powell calling? He said, quit talking bad about me.
Mr. Powell.
Yeah. So we knew that it was going to be 25 basis point rate cut. Like that was cooked in. We all knew this. So we get it, what everyone is expecting, and all of the markets sell off. It leads to nothing but the speech. What did you think? Did you listen to it at all yesterday? Were you taking notes on that there, Billy?
Yeah, I listened to it. I was jumping through everybody's stream during the speech. So I went to Tom Crowns. I went to everyone. I went to Livers. I went to Frankie. I mean, I just popped all over the place to everybody's streams, trying to really look for a setup, which we got, which was a good short. I didn't get all of it, but I got a nice little piece of that short. So, that was nice. It was only a few $100, but hey, I took it. But what did I think about the speech? I thought just what you thought, Rick, Piper, which was, man, it was all over the place. It was like I didn't get a good, warm and fuzzy feeling about it. And of course, when I started seeing the DXY just rocket up, I know that's not good for Bitcoin, right? So I was like, oh my gosh. But overall, I thought it was one of the biggest movement speeches. Like, I don't recall, you tell me, you know better than I do, but I don't recall such a huge movement from a FOMC meeting like that. I mean, we've had them in the past.
Not since the early days. The early days was when we had that type of movement. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. We haven't seen that since I really want to say like mid 2023 was the last time we saw market movements on FOMC. Matter of fact, it got to the point that I was like, it's FOMC day. Nothing's going to happen. We're going to drive right on through it. So, but yeah, absolutely. It was, definitely a move that I was not expecting. I had a feeling it was downside moves. We put out some, he did name drop me. It's okay. My name is Rick. Billy's name is not Billy, just so you know, too.
I'm sorry, man.
It's all good, bro. It's all good. I'm transparent. Rick Smith, that's me. I'm generic name. I've told him where my name comes from. I don't care.
I don't either. So
exactly. So, but yeah, I was expecting some downside move. We actually hit at the far side that we had. So I guess I was kind of expecting that level of drop on Bitcoin. Was not expecting the stock markets to play out that way, and I wasn't expecting it to be such a grind downward. I really thought that if it was going to happen, it was going to be a sharp drop, V-shaped recovery. It was a very slow motion V-shaped recovery. So, but yeah, that's very interesting there. Let's go ahead and bring up that chart and let's go talk about Bitcoin where it's currently at right now, and then we'll just keep this moving right along, Billy. But
yeah, man.
I want you to talk about your trade when we come back. So you had a little trade set up. I'd like to know what your levels were on that. We'll be right back with that, guys. Let's jump over to my chart and let's go take a look. That is not a chart. Piper, that is not a chart. That's a chart. We are getting another rejection as we speak. Good Lord. I haven't closed my trade, just so you guys know. I had an entry on Bitcoin. You see my alert right there. And I actually had an alert, a setup on a trade entry at what is my entry level? Oh, come down. There we go. Open orders. I have an order entry to add into my trade at 98,600. We hit 98,700, so it did not pick it up, but I am still keeping it open because I do believe that we are going to get that opportunity off of today. And I thought that we might come up and reject. We had a value area low right here, a value area high right here that we were coming down, but this was my resistance zone we talked about in the week, guys. And I said, if we don't hold this, we have to expect that we're going to go down to the value area high. And if we lose that, we have to expect the point of control, which would be in the 3D trend cloud, dynamic reactor. If I turn that off, you'll see dynamic reactor and quantum reactors right down there. That wick yesterday is actually on the quantum reactor from Chart Prime. So I should have just listened to Chart Prime instead of my consolidated zone here. That would have just played out the best for me. When in doubt, whip it out. Chart Prime for the win. But yeah, the 3D trend cloud here was what I was shooting for. I figured if we, worst case scenario, hit the bottom, 98,600, and yeah, missed it by $100. But right now, we are coming back down into that zone. Looks like we did get an uptrend arrow here. We are going into transition. Money flow starting to come back up. True 7 starting to come back up. Things were looking pretty decent here, but you can see that volume turning red there. I think a lot of people got spooked in the markets. I do think we're going to come down to the 1.236. That's going to be about 96,875. And if we come down into that zone, it will pick up my trade. And then this weekend, we'll start to get that movement back up again, guys. But I want to talk about this dip that we had, because in the grand scheme of things, we've talked about this last week. We were looking at this. Sorry if I just blinded everybody, but this is shout out to Direct Capital. We talked about this newsletter. I subscribe to it. I share it with the memberships and stuff with our members in our Discord. So if you guys are in there, you guys get shown this stuff during our sessions and stuff. Bitcoin week 6 in price discovery. Okay. Typically, when price goes into price discovery on Bitcoin, we have this period that takes place between week 6 and week 8. And last week I said, welcome to week 6. And let's go see what Rect Capital has to say about this. Let's go down here. Bitcoin daily close. However, all of this is a volatile retest, but price action is also dropping into the red region. Nope, that's not it. We are looking for the next couple of weeks could be problematic, right? And that's what we said here. We are officially in week 6. This was last week. No question, Bitcoin has effectively only just begun parabolic upside phase of the cycle. But historically, between week 6 and week 8 is where Bitcoin tends to pull back quite deeply. Week 6 has just begun. In 2013, Bitcoin retraced 75% in week 7. Go down here, 2016, retraced 34% in week 8. In 2021, it retraced 16% to the downside in week 6 and 8% in week 8, giving a little bit of a pump in the middle there at week 7. So, therefore, the periods between week 6 and week 8 represent a danger zone for Bitcoin price discovery corrections. Let's go back over here, take a look at the chart, and we'll talk about this, guys, because here's where he's talking about week 6, week 7, week 8, right, of price discovery. And you guys, this is the candle. This is where we are right now. This candle right there, little doji candle. It's a little bit red, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not far off from what we've seen in every cycle. Week 6 through 8, that would be right here. Week 6 is pretty good. Week 7, we're getting a retracement. What if we did get a 30% retracement pullbacks, guys? Just to measure that off here, I want to show you guys a 30% retracement would put us down to about, let's get it here, about $75,000, $76,000 range, okay? And if you guys are thinking, well, that can't happen, there's no way. Here's March to its bottom. That was 23.37%. Let's go here, measure from June down to August. That was 31%. And then we had another sell-off here that happened right there where we came down about 19%. So we had over 30% move just in this cycle. It's normal. It's typical. But right now, The sell-off that we got yesterday, that's why the thumbnail looked like what it looked like. Guy sitting in the fire staring at the charts. Everything's fine, okay? Right now, we have no reasons to be worried. If anything, we have opportunity. That's what's knocking on our door right now. And let's go take a look at what that 30%, remember, 30% would be like $76,000, right? Let's jump over here. Let's pull up the BTC1 and let's go talk about this level here because, guys, all the way down there on that 30% drop that we're talking about, let's go measure that off 30% from the top here, all the way down 30%, 76,000. There we go. That would be right there. You guys see that? That is a CME gap right there that would actually get closed out on the 30% move. To be fair, we could actually pull all the way back down to this range from this high, all the way back down to about right here at 72,000, 71,377. Why? It would be a retest of previous resistance, and it would be testing as support. And we would still be in a bullish structure for more upside, higher lows, right? Look at this on higher time frames. Let's pull this to a 2-week, and let's just talk about this. There you go. That's what that looks like. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Guys, it's there. It's built in every cycle. Week 6, 7, and 8 of price discovery. This is all normal, and we don't really have much of a pullback. Remember, my target goal is the 1.618 based on historicals. There's a video that I posted about this. I'm sure Alexandra G's going to drop that because she's fire. She's the mod queen. But it actually talks about the 1.618 projection at about $167,000. Let's go jump over and bring Billy and OC back up. Guys, are you scared? Should we be scared right now? Is anybody here worried about Bitcoin's price after what I just showed?
I'm not fearful whatsoever. This is part of the deal, man. I'm actually excited. If it gets down there, we do have a bigger drop, then it's a buying opportunity for me. I mean, I feel like we could go all the way through November, right? October, November. So as you know, Rick or Piper, I'm sorry, man, I keep exposing you.
No problems, bro.
You, like
you do you, Billy. Man. I am not worried.
Yeah, man. So I feel like we've talked in the past and long term since we bought our Bitcoin, back at 16.5, 19.5. Look at these numbers. Anything in the 90, 100,000, we're fine, right? So for us, we're thinking about maybe the first quarter selling out of our altcoins. That's what we were thinking about. But I don't know. I'm looking at it. I might go a little longer with it. I can tell you my bag wise, it doesn't feel good from a standpoint. I'm a big bag holder of Cardano, and it's down at 96 cents. You rounded it up to 97. Thank you. I appreciate that. I smiled when you said that. I was like, great. Polkadot, Chainlink, those are my big bags. Gala, those are my big bags. So on the alt side of the house, it doesn't feel good, but hey, man, it's part of the game, and I'm not panicking whatsoever.
Absolutely. OC, your thoughts on current price action, the sell-off yesterday? How are you looking at Bitcoin right now? Do you want to go ahead and pull your chart up?
Sure. Let me just bring it up here.
This man just listening in. He's just along for the ride. Guys, while he's pulling that up, if you haven't done so yet, smash that like button if you're getting any value out of today's content. And then, if you want to, you can share it out. Sharing is caring, and we appreciate you all. It helps the algorithm, helps us out here. OC, let's go take a look at your chart, see what you got, bro.
Absolutely. So as I was telling you guys, I was moving my stop to entry, was taking a couple of or as 50% of my entry here, or my original position, sorry, some gains. It already have taken me out. Good thing that I moved it. I might be jumping back in here. So far, if I'm scared, not really. I mean, am I selling it all off? Not really, right? I still got my bot going. I still had all of my savings for me, for my retirement are in Bitcoin. Just so you know, I don't have a retirement system here in Mexico for me, and neither I don't care because I start buying at 20K, almost at the top, right? And I'm not regretting it. I mean, if it's about Bitcoin, I'll buy it anywhere, right? As long as it's for the holding. And then just my trading backs, which is what I'm buying and selling constantly, it is what I try to play with to bid the system, right? To bid and have a little bit more on just buy and hold. So at this point, let's just take a look at what's been happening here. We were talking about the first area of resistance. We have a big body candle here, and then the secondary area of resistance in here. We also had a beautiful reversal, and as we had that reversal, that's exactly what I jumped in. And then just basically today, I just moved my stop to entry as we were in the class, and then just took 50% out. And that is because, and let me show you guys Aave. All right, so I know you might be saying, well, Aave, yesterday you actually gave a possible entry here. Yes, I did. And then it just flopped completely, right? It's not that Aave is setting the pace, right? But when we have similar structures here and we can start looking for strong movements that they've been holding when was they're failing, that's kind of like a leading the way. And that is because we will see capital rotation, right? Or rotation of capital. So it's not, again, it's not that Aave is telling Bitcoin what's going to be doing. But in this case, since it is weaker, it is moving first on the pressure that we're having. So that's why I decided to move it up and out. And basically, I'm already out. I am stopped out on profits, 50% out of my initial position. For what is it coming? I do see a little bit more downside coming. Maybe a double bottom. Let me bring up here my support and resistances. There we go. Maybe double bottom rather than dynamic reactor, but we are also looking like we're making an inverse goose hit, right? And that's just a little bit odd in here at this moment, which is okay. I mean, if we take a look at daily, which we are going to be doing, I will show you that it's just a trend line that we might be just able to retest, right? Once again, remember what Piper was showing, he was showing, and I'm sure that he will also bring it back. This area right here, or very similar area. I do recall yesterday he mentioned it, and I already have also this box. So it will not come at a surprise, right? That we come here, all the way here, making maybe pierce through, have a retest, sweep of the lows, and then start making a Wyckoff pattern here with maybe some inverse head and shoulders, and then finally start pushing upwards. At this moment, remember all the hype of Christmas. It starts being wearing out, and that is because we're focusing on other stuff, right? Spending money on gift, vacations, and so many other things, right? So maybe the hype in here of retail is just wearing out a little bit, but I'm sure that when we see that drop, interest is it's going to come back up, especially having that many bullish indicators in here at this area. So other than that, that's what I got for Bitcoin. Piper, let me throw it back to you.
Awesome. Yeah, that's the same level as I'm looking at there, man. It's coming in between again that 98,600 my trade entry down to that 1.236, which is about 96,700. So in that ballpark.
Absolutely.
So that's the range that I'm watching to hold for support. If we did break that level and go down and do a double bottom, I believe you're talking about this area right in here.
Yes.
Let me draw that out. I think you're talking about this area right here. That would actually put us below some key 4-hour nodes here. I guess on the higher time frames, we'd still be looking good down here. Give us on the 12-hour, it'd still be in our 3D trend. But as of right now, yeah, it does look like we might get some more downside, especially when I'm looking at this 12-hour here. Money flow's coming down. The True 7's coming down. We are starting to get some more volume. That's good. But our oscillator ribbon also coming down, and VWAP oversold has fired off. So be aware, be prepared. Don't be scared. That's what we say here on the show. Shout out to Alex O Crypto, the gang coming into the house and joining us here in the chat. We appreciate you guys all being here. Shout out to everybody that has joined us from his community, sliding into over here into the chat of the Piper Academy. We appreciate you guys. Billy, before we jump into altcoins, let's talk about Billy Goat Tales, because you guys have had a busy damn week over there. Can you give a little breakdown on what the NFT project is that I've been talking about every day here on the show to the people, and then we'll talk about how they can get all 10 books, which is a big deal. So we'll go ahead and drop it over to you if you want to talk about that, and then we'll pull up your screen here in a minute. So tell us all about it. Break it down, man.
Yes. So we took 30x space chapters or spaces, 30x space, and we recorded them. And there was 170 speakers in total, and you were on there, of course, but we had also people like Lifer and people like Misting Crypto and all the creators that joined us, Mind Your Biz, and a whole bunch of creators jumped on for us. We also had Charles Hoskinson on, several founders of projects that we had on. So what we were trying to do, and the purpose and function and mission of that, was to have a book created by the community, for the community, of the community. And so we are the first in blockchain history. And I'll throw this out there to your audience. I was on the blockchain basement yesterday. I told them the same thing. I'll give anyone $100 in Bitcoin if they prove this wrong. But from what our research shows us, we are the first in blockchain history to actually record 30x spaces, put it in a book, and put that book into an NFT mint on the Cardano blockchain. So we're proud of that, but we wanted to do it as a way to give back to our community, something that they made, something that they're in, something that they're a part of. Instead of being on the creator side, we always wanted the community to come up, grab a microphone, tell us what's on their minds, and get their words in print, get their words in the forever minted in the histories of the blockchain, right? So we said we were going to do it. And one thing about building a community, we want to make sure that we build trust and credibility, and that is by doing what you say you're going to do, right? Follow through, do what you say you're going to do. So that's what Billy Goat Tales is all about. But as it relates to this, the mint specifically, a lot of people never had a Cardano wallet. So we ramped up a lot of brand new NFT minters. So there's some people that it was their first time they ever minted an NFT, which was wonderful, right? Part of the adoption process. So we're proud of that as well. But really, it's pretty simple. You go to our website. I'm
going to go ahead and share your screen. You want to bring that up?
Yeah. It says stop sharing. There it is. Okay. So yeah, you go to our website right here, and you can see that's pretty easy. You just go to official mint site. You click on that. You connect your wallet. You mint the NFT. Now, when we get to, do I just scroll down here myself, Rick? Then on the actual. Yep. Okay.
Yep.
When you get to the actual NFT information, look, guys. There's 30 chapters. There's 30 chapters that makes the whole book, but each chapter each book cover has 3 chapters on it. So the way you got to look at this is there's 10 NFTs, there's 10 book covers. Okay. Each book cover has 3 chapters on it, and you always get the appendix and the preface too. So you get both of those with every single NFT. So we made it pretty simple, and we didn't want to make it so someone had to go in there and buy one book, the whole book, for like 250 Cardano. We thought that's not who we are. That's not what we want to do. We offered this to our speaker passes at 20 Cardano and to the public at 25 Cardano. So we wanted to keep it very cost effective, because like what I did, and I minted just like you guys, I went in there and I minted 12 covers, and I happened to get all 10 plus 2 extras. So it cost me 220 Cardano, and I got the whole book. Now, it's a random. We don't even control that. So I could have minted, and I could have gotten 5 of the same book cover. You just don't know, right? So I lucked out in that. But we wanted to keep it low, because let's say you spoke in chapter 5 and you really didn't want to, you didn't have the money, or you didn't want to, as your first mint, you're a little nervous, but you didn't want to have to go in there and try to mint 1,000 times. If you wanted chapter 5, well, gave you a chance to go and try to mint it. You mint it for 20 Cardano. You might get chapter 5. Then you have what you want. Or it might take you 3 chances to get chapter 5. So we thought, well, they would only have to spend 20, 40, 60 ADA. So we really looked at that and tried to keep the economics of that, or NFT-nomics, I guess you call it, pretty reasonable for everybody. And it's going really well. We have 10 covers, like I said, the strength of community. There's only 100. There's 120 of those, and we have this thing called the Easter eggs, which is over there at the 10% on the screen there. The Easter eggs I'll talk about in a minute, here. We'll get to that. Well, we have cover 2, which is the power of persistence, and that's chapter 4, 5, and 6. Taking action was cover 3, 7, 8, and 9. The art of habits, which that was a great space. 10, 11, and 12. The integrity of honor, chapter 13, 14, 15. The power of faith was 16 through 18. True wealth, 19 through 21. Mastering emotions was 22 and 20 through 24. Embracing rarity was 25 through 27. And the love principle was chapters 28, 29, and 30. Now you can see the rarest is embracing rarity. And what better NFT than to be rare than the embracing rarity? And that was a great space. That was a great turnout for us. That only has 5% Easter eggs, and there's only 60 of those book covers. And so to make your whole book, you have to have chapters 25, 26, and 27. And what you do with that, once you have the NFT, Piper, you just simply go back to our website, and we've created and built a book reader. And so if you just, once you have the NFT, if you click book reader, you plug in your wallet, it reads the book, it opens it like a book, and you can read it just like a book. What's coming down the line with the Easter eggs, we have so many great ideas, and I can tell you this, and Piper, I've told you, but we're keeping this under wraps. And the only reason we're keeping it under wraps is because there's so many ideas that we have that we haven't, as a team, cemented which ones we're going to roll out to the public. But I can tell you, these Easter eggs are ongoing. And in other words, if you have an NFT with an Easter egg, you are in our community, you are going to be, we have the addresses. So we know who has an Easter egg and who doesn't. We're going to put you on a wheel. We're going to draw. And these prizes we have some good, as you know, Piper, the golden goat is the one that has the most NFTs in their wallet. You're going to win the Golden Goat Award, the first ever Billy Goat Tales Golden Goat Award. There's 2 of those, and the next 5 holders of the NFT are going to get the Billy Goat Tail official socks, the gold socks with the goat. But this is separate. The Easter eggs are a totally separate deal. If you have one with an Easter egg and you hold on to it, we are going to eventually here next year, so the Q1, we are going to have those addresses. We're going to put them. We're going to announce what the grand prize is. And guess what? This is at least every single year. We might do it every quarter. We haven't decided yet, but these prizes are not a pair of socks. These are huge opportunities. Just give you a little bit of a tidbit without trying to share too much. Some of the things on the list that we've talked about are things like meeting the whole team in Myrtle Beach in a condo for 5 days, going to a fishing cabin with a boat that is in our control. We have, and having a retreat at a fishing cabin with a boat with us, some of the team members. So we have some big things that we're going to be giving away, and we're giving them to the folks that have the yes onto the rarity. In other words, the Easter eggs. Yep. And so if you have an Easter egg, you're going to get thrown in some of that. Now, please keep in mind, we haven't decided exactly which prizes and which opportunities we're going to launch yet. I was just giving you a little bit of a tidbit so that it's real. We've done everything. Yeah, we've done everything we said we were going to do. We said we were going to launch a children's book on Amazon. We did it. By the way, we're writing the second one. Jim has pretty much written it. I've seen it. So the second children's book is going to be coming out here next year, probably Q1, if not the beginning of Q2. And it's going to be a 5 set book. So there's going to be 5 of these in a set, and that are all made for children to ensure that we ramp up safely children into the space. So we're just having fun with this, and all the support you've given us so far. Army Piper, of course, man, you're the OG. You're helping us so much. Alex O, all of you guys, Tradefly, your whole team, Miss Teen Crypto. By the way, on Tuesday, she's going to be reading on Tuesday on our space, she's going to be reading, because Tuesday's Christmas Eve, and we want to make it a short space. And hey, there might only be 5 people in there. We don't care. We want to be consistent with our messaging, so we didn't want to cancel it. But she's going to read. She's going to read the Billy Goat Tales Bridge to Bitcoin live.
That's awesome.
On the show. So yeah, man, it's just givers gain. We're all about that, helping each other. And so I appreciate you even giving me the time to talk about it, brother.
Nice, brother. Dude, I love the project. I think it's a phenomenal background on it, why you guys did what you did. But I want to give a shout out to Biomex, Tex-Mex Biomex in the chat right now. Dropped a $10 super chat saying, thank you, Piper Academy, for all the love and support. Hashtag givers gain. That's why we do what we do with you guys, man. You guys are awesome. But yeah, I got 45 books right now, just so you're tracking, Billy. So I want the Golden Goat. I want to be able to say, welcome to Piper Academy, home of the Golden Goat. And but the reason that I'm shooting high and not going for at least the socks is because I'm too old to get my leg up and show my socks on screen. So that I just don't have that flexibility anymore. So I got to go big or go home. That's what I did. So
well, let me say this too real quick, because I'm glad you brought up Biomex. Tony Biomex, he was the gearbox for this NFT project. This guy worked so hard behind the scenes getting this thing done. I just want to shout him out, and our whole team, Jimmy Jim, Redman, Crypto Pollo, Dave Digital. I mean, and we have some, your mods are basically our mods, so it's a tight community. We love everybody. We appreciate all the support you've shown us. So thank you.
Absolutely. Guys, drop a 1 in the chat if you guys love Biomex and CryptoBilly and everything that his whole team does over there at Billy Goat Tales. Drop a 1 in the chat for those guys. But yeah, so let's talk about the giveaway, because we're giving away book 1 through book 10, the entire series, to include that ultra rare number 9, along with one of the books containing an Easter egg right here on Piper Academy. We're going to be doing that at the turn of the new year in 2025, January 1st week. And in order to do that, you have to be a member either here on YouTube, just click the join button below, or be a member in our Discord for upperclassmen, which gives you all kinds of tons of perks over there too. And if you're both of them, then you have 3 entries. So 1 entry for being a member. You get 2 entries for being a member of the Discord, upperclassmen, and then you get 3 if you have both, because 1 and 2, right? So 3 entries for that. But has anybody else offered to give away all 10 books with an Easter egg anywhere in the space? I don't think they have. I think we're the only home of that. So
you are, man.
Because the odds of getting all 10 books is extremely low, just because of number 9 by itself. But the odds of getting all 10 books with number 9 in your set and an Easter egg, it would have cost you a minimum of $250+ unless you're a speaker, right? So yeah, guys, it's a good value. This is a big giveaway. So if you guys are not members yet, please click that join button and go check out our WAP over there on Discord. You can go join our Discord. There's a whole thing there, tells you everything you get. It's a ton. Trade setups, trade groups, live Discord classes for TA 101, Q&A, newsletter, subscription shares. We give little tidbits of info from some very expensive subscriptions that we have at Piper Academy, so that you guys can read all those. But Billy, thank you for coming on and talking about the NFT project today. Thanks for coming on and talking about your sentiment on Bitcoin, where it's at right now. Everyone just breathe. Say what's up. You're more than welcome to hang out still with us, but we got to jump into do a little bit of some altcoin TA right now. So do you have a request for some altcoin TA? What would you like to see, Billy?
Well, you can hit Cardano for me if you like. That'd be
all right.
great.
OC, you want to knock out Cardano, and I'll come back and knock out some Sol, and I'll take a look at SWI and Chainlink. But yeah, let's go ahead and knock some of that out before we head over to Randy Hipper's house. Wait, I don't know that she's live. I think her live is a little bit late today because she's doing an interview. But if she is, then we'll head over there. But guys, all of Billy's links for Billy Goat Tales, for their YouTube, for their X, and for the minting site, all down below in the description. Go down there, check out CryptoBilly's link. links. And guys, go at least grab a book. You know, it supports the Billy Goat Tales community. It costs you about 25 ADA. And if you get an extra book, I've got a lot of extras, by the way, if you guys aren't tracking. 45 total that I have right now. I'm giving away 10 of them. I have 10 for myself. That leaves that's 20. That leaves 25 extra books that we have to use for other giveaways down the road. So you guys just hang out and be watching, because I want you guys to be able to get some of that enjoyment if you did not have the money at this holiday season to get any. So shout out to y'all.
To that point, Army, there's a lot of trading going on. So in your Discord and our Discord, if you happen to have two of the same and someone needs that, you can trade with them. You just swap it wallet to wallet. Now, with that, be careful. Make sure you know the person, or they're one of our community members that you interact with and you can trust. But yeah, you can. We had a lot of trading going on in our Discord. People that got two of something and they needed to swap it for something else. So that's fair and free. Well, you can also go to JPEG Store. If you go to JPEG Store, that's the Cardano OpenSea kind of the NFT exchange. You can go there and you can list it or buy one that if somebody's listed it, you can buy one there as well.
Nice. I want to give a shout out to Alexandra G, because I needed a number 10 to finish the set. I got the number 9, the hard one. I got it. I needed a number 10 to finish my set, and Alexandra G gave us the 10. So she's the one that rounded out the 10 giveaway set. So shout out to Alexandra G, the best mod in the business, the mod queen. OC, let's jump over. Let's take a look at Cardano. I'll come back and do Solana, and we'll come back and we'll wrap this out here in a few after some altcoin. Let's go, OC.